You get hurt in a car accident, and suddenly everyone around you has an opinion about what your pain is worth. Your neighbor swears you should ask for $1 million, and your uncle says just take whatever they offer and move on. Here is the truth. Nobody tells you up front. A fair settlement is not a random number pulled from a hat. It is actually built from real pieces like medical bills, lost wages, and something called pain and suffering. Let us start with medical bills, because insurance companies love to stare at this number like it is the whole story. It is not the whole story, it is just chapter 1 of a much longer book. Lost wages are chapter 2, and this includes not just the paychecks you already missed, but the ones you might miss later if your injury sticks around. If you needed physical therapy for 6 months, that is 6 months of your life insurance companies would rather pretend never happened. Now here comes the part that confuses almost everybody. Pain and suffering. This is the money meant to cover the stuff you cannot put a receipt on, like not being able to pick up your kid or missing your best friend's wedding because you were stuck in a hospital bed. Insurance adjusters often use a formula where they multiply your medical bills by a number, sometimes between 1.5 and 5, depending on how serious the injury is. It sounds official, but really it is just their opening bid in a very long negotiation dance. Here is a twist most people do not expect. The first offer is almost never the real offer. It is like haggling at a flea market, except the flea market has lawyers and you are the item being sold short. This is exactly why so many people underestimate their settlement and accept way less than they deserve. They panic about bills piling up today and forget to think about how their body might feel 5 years from now. A good accident injury lawyer looks at your whole timeline, not just this week's stack of bills. They factor in future medical care, whether your injury affects your ability to work long term, and even how it changes your daily quality of life. Let us talk about a sneaky detail called comparative fault. In some states, if you were even 10% responsible for the accident, your settlement can shrink by that same percentage, so understanding fault matters just as much as understanding damages. Here's where community stories help, because real people who went through settlements often say the same thing. They wish they had waited to sign anything until they fully healed. Signing early can lock you into a number before you even know the full size of your injury. Documentation becomes your best friend in this whole process. Photos, medical records, and a simple journal of how your daily life changed can turn a vague claim into a rock-solid one insurance companies cannot brush aside. Doubt creeps in for almost everyone during this process, especially when insurance companies drag their feet hoping you will just give up. Patience paired with good documentation is often what separates a lowball offer from an actual fair one. At the end of the day, evaluating a fair settlement is part math, part patience, and part knowing your own worth beyond just paperwork. It is less about greed and more about making sure you are not paying out of pocket for someone else's mistake. So if all of this sounds like a lot to figure out alone, that is because it kind of is, and that is exactly why having the right guidance matters. Want to learn more about how to find the right lawyer for your situation? Check out our links in the description.